Christine. Thanks for coming back. You know what we did? We came out to the Wilmington Brandywine Cemetery and we investigated for the evening, and we wanted to show you what it is that we got.
Great, I'm excited to see it.
Very well. We did have some awesome paranormal things during this investigation. First of all, Christine, the paranormal experiences we had were on a personal note. In other words, they happened, a physical thing happened. Myself, I had pressure on my shoulders down in the body storage room.
Mm-hmm.
It was weight. And I felt that a couple of times on investigations, not that often at all. And if I do feel weight like that, that's unusual, but has happened in the past, and that makes me think there's something going on. I will say that the place does lend itself to be pretty creepy. So, you know, I'm in my mind I want to debunk that, but I can't because it doesn't happen that often, because I'm into creepy places a lot. So that was a personal experience I had. Jim, he had one too. Right after that, he said he felt something on the back shoulder blade. I believe it was the right, and he said that he felt something. So that was two within a 5-minute period of time.
Wow.
And I trust Jim as an investigator. He would not say that unless he really felt like he was.
Mm-hmm.
You had your hair.
I did. I felt like someone touched the top of my hair, and at first I thought maybe it was a cobweb, but Rick was nearby with a flashlight and he shined all around the top of my head just to make sure, because again it was sort of a creepy place.
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't any cobwebs around. And later another one of our investigators, Diane, said she had her hair touched, and I asked her where, and we hadn't talked to each other, and she said on the top of her head, which was the same experience I had had, and we hadn't spoken to each other to know where she had been touched on her hair. I mean, she said hair, well,
Mm-hmm.
she has long hair, so it could have been anywhere.
Right.
And hers was the top of her head as well.
Wow. Also, Corey had his name called out with 4 investigators that heard it. You want to explain a little bit about that?
We were down in the basement where the bodies are kept before the services, and we were down there just investigating, doing an EVP session, and my name was called from way back in the other side of the room. Almost sounded like it was back in one of the other rooms behind us, and I acknowledged it, just thinking it was Rick or somebody yelling at first, and it was very clear, like somebody trying to get my attention, and I addressed it and just casually, and nobody answered back, and went to investigate, and there's nobody there.
Mm-hmm.
So we had all these things which we classify. Also, we had a digital recorder set up in the room at that time. We were hoping to get an EVP from that, but there was a lot of shuffling around because people got excited about hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
So we really couldn't nail that down. So unfortunately, contamination can lend itself at times to that, especially if you don't have one on you all the time.
Okay.
That was a stationary recorder laid down
Okay.
on the other side of the room from where this noise happened, this Corey thing. So that's why. We did get an EVP from the same place,
Mm-hmm.
and we have it here now. We'd like to have you listen to it. I mean, if you can hear it again. Now I heard up there is a where am I, which is very loud.
Mm-hmm.
None of us said that because we knew where we were for one thing, but
What's the yeah at the end?
the yes, there's a yes at the end, which makes me think there's more than one.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, somebody said where am I, but some other thing in there is saying yes. It's a yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I
It
just-
sounds like a different. Like that's
The
masculine.
yeah was a
and the
female.
yeah is female.
Yeah. So that's what we got out there. That's a class B. So that is pretty substantial, especially how loud it was.
And where was that?
It was down in the body
Okay.
storage room. Everybody agrees, of course we agreed that night, that the chapel is the main thrust
Oh,
of
yeah.
things. Yeah. So, with all the evidence that we've gotten with this, all the personal experience that we have, the Wilmington Brandywine Cemetery is a haunted place. That's what we classified it as. We have deep respect for the people that were buried there and for their families. We came in there with respect just to see if we could get some kind of evidence, not to cause them, you know, we want them to rest.
Absolutely.
They've lived their lives and we don't want to disturb them at all. We appreciate the fact that the Wilmington people at the cemetery there gave us the privilege to come in and do an investigation at that lovely place. We want it to be known that the people there sometimes do talk back. And they did to us that night. Is it a ghost? Is it something we can't explain? No, we can't explain it. But it's actual evidence that there's something going on in the Wilmington Brandywine Cemetery in that chapel. Everybody agree?
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you having us out.
We should do that.
The EVP was very loud, and it's fascinating in so many ways to me. So that EVP I'll keep with me for a long time because it was very loud.
It was very loud.
Distinct.
Yeah, very distinct. So thank you.
Thank you for coming.
All right, so this concludes the reveal at the Wilmington Brandywine Cemetery. Okay, so let's talk about next year. We got some awesome investigations lined up for us, and then you would be taking part, of course, in the YouTube, like you are now, and also you'll be taking place in public paranormal investigations like we had last year, or this year. I'm sorry.
This year.
Well, it's still this year. So, but next year we'll be in Lewis again. All of October, right?
Can't wait.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to drink, you got some Red Bull on hand?
Got some Red Bull.
I'm going to
And candy corn.
There you go, that's good. So we're going to be there all month doing paranormal investigations there. So keep abreast of that and make sure that you mark it on your calendars the whole month of October, downstate. We're going to be down there. We're also going to be in negotiations with the Green in Dover. So, and that's sponsored by
Kent County Tourism.
yes, and they're very cool people. I'm in negotiations with them now. We will definitely be on the Green with the lab. I don't know if it's going to be an investigation or not. It may be a walk around and talk about the stories about the ghosts there and things. And it'll be for the Dover Days, which I think
Yes.
yes.
In
So,
May, I believe.
yeah. We're all going to be at the Amsel House.
Yes, in Newcastle, in historic old Newcastle.
Yeah, so we're going to be in there for a full investigation of that fine old home. I'd like to thank you for your support this year, and thank you for joining us on this trip. That we're on a trip, right?
Definitely a journey.
So stay in touch with us. Facebook us. We're always looking for new friends. So if you want to do that, be sure to do that. And you Facebook us by just typing in.
Delmarva Historic Haunts.
And there we are. So with that being said, I would like to wrap it up. So on behalf of Delmarva Historic Haunts,
Lab Group of Gettysburg Paranormal Association,
good night. Pinky, fly away. See you next year.